Hey, remember, you were just a conspiracy theorist if you thought that the government was gonna ban gas stoves. Nobody's doing that, okay? Come on. That's why they just had to pass a bill to ban and block federal gas stove ban. Wait a minute, okay? Oh, it's almost like there was something to that Green New Deal where they were calling for the regulation of cow emissions. Yes, putting a regulator on cow farts, which, okay, what ended up happening about a year or two ago? Oh, right, all of those Dutch farmers and European farmers that were rebelling because governments, through covert methods, were trying to close down farms in the name of climate change. No. The gas stoves, that's outdated technology. It's completely inefficient, but the government overreach would just stop right there, right? Of course, right? Because this is all about, a nice greener future. New York City rules crack down on coal, wood-fired pizzerias. Okay, so we know that they're coming for gas stoves, so you can't cook using natural gas. All right, interesting. And now apparently you can't cook with coal or wood? I don't know, is this supposed to be exclusively in the domain of cooking pizza? It's like, is this going to be equally applied? Like, I know that there's a booming homeless population in New York City, so if you see any bums that are out there just trying to reheat anything that they find in a dumpster over a grate and a barrel, are you going to go ahead and, put out those fires? You're going to write them up a ticket? Interesting. Historic Big Apple pizza joints could be forced to dish out mounds of dough under the proposed city edict targeting pollutant-spewing coal and wood-fired ovens. The way that people have been cooking since the dawn of time. The Post has learned. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection has drafted new rules that would order eateries using decades-old baking methods. Decades old doesn't even cover it, man. To slice carbon emissions by up to 75%. Pizza puns! We got them! All New Yorkers deserve to breathe healthy air, and wood and coal-fired stoves are among the largest contributors to harmful pollutants in neighborhoods with poor air quality. Just in those neighborhoods, oh my God, wood-fired pizzas are bad for the environment. Black and brown people most affected. Is that what you actually fucking care about? God, you people are so fucking dim in government. It's like, don't you think that New York City has bigger, more pressing issues at play? Okay, instead of trying to lock people up, just, you know what? Hey guys, we just need nice clean air so when the shoplifters run out of the stores, they aren't coughing and wheezing. They have an adequate amount of oxygen to flee the area. Fucking unbelievable. This common sense rule. Oh yes, every time we ever hear a government official say that something's just common sense, just really break it down for a second. Common sense gun control. We need common sense oven control. No, you get out of here. Government was supposed to be, by the people, for the people. Who is actually saying that, what? It's getting way too smoky in here, You guys should just really stop cooking with fire. What the fuck? Okay. Oh my God. Yes, this common sense rule developed with restaurant and environmental justice groups. Oh my God. Okay. Now, this is just New York City right now. And frankly, you get what you fucking vote for. You get what you deserve. But this will go other places as well. New York City, Los Angeles, the coastal areas are always the hotbed and the think tanks for all of these terrible leftist policies. So what's starting in New York City will eventually, give it enough time, it will come to a place near you. Requires a professional review of whether installing emission controls is feasible. Oh my God, you're putting scrubbers on a fucking cobblestone oven. God, you people are so dumb. This is just all penny pinching. Do you think they actually care about your health? Over the past 3 years, we had a pretty decent example, and definitely now we start to have all the numbers where we can prove none of that was actually for your health. But they're trying to tell you, hey, we're the experts, and we actually, need to have these regulations. Otherwise, if we have unregulated pizza kitchens, we could just end up having bad air in some of these poor neighborhoods. But as a guy who lives in a, reasonably well-to-do small city, I'll tell you what. The cheaper eateries, they don't have wood fire or coal-fired stoves, okay? So this is just another little puny tax on people on the come up. The rule could require pizzerias with such ovens installed prior to May of 2016, which is pretty much everybody, to buy pricey emission control devices. And oh my God, they actually want to just kill and snuff out any of the culture, any of the livelihood, any of the small businesses that are still remaining and still survived in New York City. They just they want to kill that place. I don't see the same type of regulation on any fried chicken joints, with the owner of one Brooklyn joint saying he's already tossed $20,000 on an air filter system in anticipation of the new mandate. Well, you get specifically what you fucking deserve, you idiot. Oh yeah, it's a big expense, said Paul Gioni, the owner of Paulie G's in Greenpoint. It is just the expense of having it installed. It's the maintenance. I gotta pay somebody to do it. You know, we gotta have the new furnace. We gotta have the new air filters and shit. They come in here, it ain't that expensive. They gotta cut out the hole in the roof, and you know how that shit goes. They go up in there every couple of weeks to hose it down. And, you gotta do the maintenance. You can't just throw in one of those chimney sweeping logs, into there, and it just rifles all those chemicals up there, and it just knocks down all the ash. You can't quite do that with the same place where you prepare food. It's almost like there's better precautions taken by these restaurant owners that just want to make a fucking living. Unbelievable. Gioni added that while the air filter is expensive and is a bit of a huge hassle, it also has some upsides. My neighbors are much happier. I had a guy coming in every year complaining that the smoke was, go right into his apartment. Well, that sounds like a personal problem, really. I haven't seen him since, and he got a scrubber installed. Other iconic joints facing the heat, including Lombardi's and Little Italy, Arturo's, and so just a bunch of fucking, gobbledygook meatball joints. A city official said under 100 restaurants that under 100 restaurants total will be impacted. So this almost seems like targeted legislation, if we're going to be completely honest. And has anybody thought it's like, okay, cool, you want to put regulation on wood and coal burning stoves, which is so fucking preposterous to begin with, all in the name of stemming climate change, reducing carbon emissions. Would that actually work? Like, okay, just think about it. No, it seems stupid. And it's patently obvious that this is really, a drop of dish soap in an entirely polluted ocean. Like, you guys remember the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico? Oh my God, I'm reaching way back in the cut for my references. But that's going out there with a bottle of Dawn, just throwing it into the Gulf and going, well, get clean. It's not going to do anything, even if you presuppose that conclusion that everything is just so fucked up to begin with. So actually, running back the numbers, you figure out that green mandates. Now, you'd have to burn a pizza stove 849 years to equal 1 year of John Kerry, the climate czar in charge. Old Lurch needs to go to all of those different highfalutin climate summits. His private jet. 1 year of usage would be equivalent to running 849 years worth of stoves. Is it really about the environment? Is it really about a cleaner future? Is it really about those poor, oppressed, poor people in lower income areas? Fucking stop it, man. We already see through your shit. The city government is set to restrict emissions on coal and wood-fired pizza ovens. New Yorkers, once again, are suffering at the hands of the unelected food police in the name of public health and climate change. Probably has something to do with, the unions. They need a cut or something like that. New Yorkers have already endured former Mayor Michael Bloomberg's attempt to ban soda sales of over 16 ounces and putting nutrition labels on everything for their own good, and are facing Governor Kathy Hochul's gas stoves, well, elect women, and guess what you get? And furnace bans in all the state. Sorry, what? Oh, right, yeah, she's dropping new legislation on gas stoves, which, surprise, not a conspiracy theory, and furnace bans. Sorry, I haven't heard about that. That's something they'll have to talk about in the future, I guess, in the fall, when everything starts to get cold. It's not like New York is, one of those places that, has all 4 seasons, all in the name of climate change. And now another one bites the crust. Oh my God, New York Post. Come on now. How many pieces would you have to have in order to equal just 1 trip on John Kerry's private jet? Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. In 2021, John Kerry's private jet emitted an estimated 116 metric tons of carbon in less than a year. Private jet emits up to 40 times as much CO2 per passenger as commercial flights, so it's far less efficient than your standard fare for just the plebs that are out there. But he's one of the important people. I was the 2004 Democrat nominee, so I deserve my private jet. Okay, cool. I don't even know for sure. Nobody can really point to it. It's like, okay, is that private jet actually contributing to man-made climate change? Don't know for sure or not, but if these are going to be your metrics, we'll just go ahead and, hold up a mirror for a second. By comparison, the carbon footprint of a wood-burning stove, a reasonable facsimile to a pizza oven, is barely measurable. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. We needed a study to figure that one out. The 8 Billion Trees Project estimates that the carbon footprint of a wood-burning stove can be up to 15.6 grams an hour. Woo! Or 374 grams a day. Wow. Measured in grams, not metric tons. So, okay, you know how I said the drop in the Gulf of Mexico analogy? Okay, you're running back for this one. That's what they're trying to regulate, but couldn't give a shit about what the elites are doing. Unbelievable. You would have to burn that stove for 310,160 days, 849 years, just for, something a little bit more tangible, a little bit, to equal what hypocrite John Kerry puts out in a year. And again, if this was actually about keeping a greener environment, that's what they would regulate. But no, they're just trying to go after the entrepreneur. They don't give a fuck about you. But you're in New York City, man, and this is what happens. You vote Democrat, you live with the fucking consequences. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.